Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video on the Land Rover Discovery 3 or LR3 if you're in the US. So today, when we got this truck, there was no sound from the stereo at all. So this is a standard Land Rover stereo. They've got the 6-disc CD player in it. But when I switch it on, okay, the volume control does absolutely nothing. Doesn't work on the steering wheel, although the car's switched off. It doesn't work on the steering wheel. There's nothing at all. So reading online, you can do a hard reset, which involves disconnecting the battery and then connecting the plus and the minus cables, not the battery, the cables together, and that sometimes solves it. But this truck has got a dual battery system, so it's a bit more involved to disconnect everything. So I can do that. So first thing I'm going to try and do is to take the fuse out of the actual radio while it's on, and then we'll see if it can burst it into life. Failing that, it's normally something on the MOST network that causes this, and it's more than likely it's going to be the amp. So we'll look at that as well if this doesn't work. But this is the first thing we're going to try. So let me show you where the fuse is. Right, the fuse box is behind the glove box, and this is a UK model, so it's right hand drive, so the glove box is on the left passenger side. So just undo it and then give it a bit of a tug and you're down. So there's a list of all the fuses, and the one we want is number F53. So it's a 15 amp, and it's very difficult to work out in correlation with this diagram to where the fuses are, which are back there. So get some torch. Ooh. Right, so there's a 15 amp. If you can see the green 30 amp, that's for the heated seat, so it's the one below that. Okay, so the stereo's on. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but so I'm just going to get some pliers. Fuse is out. Stereo's gone off. Right, so I'm just going to leave it. I'll leave it a few minutes. Right, I'm back. Had a nice cup of tea. So what we're going to do now is just put the fuse back in. This is easier said than done. Oh. Right, that's back in. Right, let's put that away a minute. Just open the driver's door to wake it up, and let's see if we have any sound. Oh, a dicky bird. So you can see the CD's player, there's no sound, and also you can't adjust the bass or anything. Right, let me just turn the ignition on just to see if it makes a difference. Right, the ignition's on now. Still nothing. Nothing at all. So next we're going to have a play around with the amp. Right, in a last ditch attempt to try and get this stereo working, I'm going to do a hard reset. So I've taken the negative terminal of the main battery, the positive terminal of the main battery, and I've disconnected the auxiliary battery, which is over there. And what we're going to do, let the car sit for about half an hour just to discharge all the capacitors in it, and then we're going to connect a jump lead from the plus of the plus cable to the negative cable. Okay, do not touch the battery itself, just the negative cable and the positive cable. Oh yeah, we'll do that in a minute. So we'll let it sit for half an hour. Right, so we're doing a hard reset on this Land Rover Discovery 3 V8. Now my one has an auxiliary battery over there, so I've disconnected this auxiliary battery. It is connected via a solenoid anyway, so there is no current flowing through it as such because they're not linked, but just for safety I've disconnected it from the plus of the standard default battery. Now got a multimeter here, got a multimeter, so I'm just checking there's no current flowing through there at all, which you would expect. So both terminals are off, negative terminal is floating here, the positive terminal is floating. I just have this here to protect it from hitting that, and I might actually going to put a cloth on there as well to give it a bit more protection. So what we're going to do now, we're going to connect a jump lead between this cable and this cable, so the positive cable and the negative cable only. We're not going to touch the battery, do not touch the battery. Okay, so and only do this on Land Rover Discovery 3s, don't do it on the newer the later Discovery Thors, because some of them have the start-stop feature and they have an extra battery. So that's my disclaimer. Right, so I have a good 25mm jump lead there. So I'm going to put that onto that negative terminal there. Just checking, and then we'll clamp it onto this positive terminal. Ooh. And we'll just leave that for about 5 minutes, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so that's been connected for about 10 minutes now, so we'll remove the jump leads. And we will put the connectors back on. So firstly, I'm going to reach. Just going to connect my auxiliary battery. I don't know who made these connections, they're rubbish. Okay. Make sure it's on. That one's on. Now let's connect the negative. This one's a bit awkward because it's not a lot of room back here. So just put the cable behind there and then whack it on, so to speak. You see it? I don't know if you saw that, I've got a bit of a spark there, but that's fine. It's all very tight that. Not very tight that one. Do that one again. That's it. The battery terminals are tapered, so make sure that that's better. There it goes, tight as. So let's turn the ignition on. that's made no difference at all. So I suspect my amp is dead. Right, welcome back. It's the next morning now. So after all the testing we did yesterday with trying to get the stereo working and it failing basically, I've come to move the truck this morning, so I've turned it around in the garage and something weird has happened. Let me show you. Right, I turned the stereo on. So I didn't actually notice for a couple of minutes while I was moving the truck around, and I heard this noise. So obviously one of those things I did seemed to work, so it's probably best just to lock the vehicle and let it go to sleep, and that shuts off all the electrical systems. It can take up to about 15 minutes to do that. I left it overnight and come this morning and it started working. How long it will work for, I don't know, but there you go. So definitely worth trying that. On a UK car, get to your driver's seat, push it all the way forward. This will give you enough room when you go around the back to have a look at the amp. So keep going. Okay, that forward a bit as well. Right, after a couple of weeks I'm looking back at the issue of no sound coming out of the stereo, and I did some diagnostics. Tested the most system, which I'll put a diagram up now. And I confirmed that I had a red light coming out through the whole system apart from the output of the amp. So I bought a new amp, just powered it up, and you can see there we now have a red light, whereas before we didn't. So let me just finish plugging in the rest and then we'll see if it works. Right, let's turn it on and see what we got. We have sound. And now we can adjust the bass. So there you go. A new amplifier solved the issue. So thanks for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.